All right, so I think the important thing is just to try to document as much as possible so everyone can come along for the ride, and it makes good content, and maybe that can be monetized someday. So here's the stamp that I made. I just ordered this online. It just says pizzadeliverypro.com, which is that domain that I you know I guess I'm going to keep it now. So let's see if this stamp works. The idea always was that I would just stamp it on the back of the clipboard. So let's see if I just do this. Yeah, works great. Pizzadeliverypro.com. Um, yeah, and about that name, I just like, it's like, oh, you're delivering pizza, that's a job for a teenager, like why would an adult, you know, a guy like yourself be doing that? And it's like, everyone's got to do what they got to do to like make ends meet, whatever. But the difference is if you like take some pride in what you're doing, I think that you should always take pride in what you're doing, no matter how like simple the job or if it's beneath you or whatever, because that's really what shows the difference, in integrity. I thought that was a cool name because it's like being a professional, even as a pizza delivery person. Um, and, of course, this crosses over to like any kind of food, um, but um, it's kind of a fun play on words where it's like being a pro and pizza delivery that seems like kind of a simple job. So that's the story behind that. I'm glad the stamp still works. Seems like it's got plenty of um, ink left in it, and if I don't push it too hard, it comes out perfectly. So I remember having to kind of which was the best way to stamp these in terms of the weight on it. All right, I went in the attic, and the only thing that I do have are two boxes of lights. So I'm going to open those up now for you on YouTube or wherever. I've got these screws, which are great because now I don't have to get those. Those are probably cost me $20 or something, which is kind of expensive for what all these things are. So the only clipboard that I do have is this one. Um, so it looks like I'm going to need to, well, I'll use this to see if I can make one more and just kind of hold it as like my template. But it looks like I'm going to need to buy a pack of these clipboards to just continue on with the method I have. I do like those small ones because they have that better clamp, but that's going to be in the R&D phase. I think if I just make a bunch more, which is how I knew how to use them, that they're functional and they were sellable and they were cheap to make and they fit in these bags and all those good things. So we'll do that. All right, so let me just open up one of these boxes. So this is a box of 24, 24 book lights, and you can have them, in this case, the dollar store I used was Dollar Tree, and I could order them online, so it'd be just $24 at the time, and they could be shipped to the local Dollar Tree for free. So I ordered two boxes of these. Let's open it up and see what we got. Because like I said, the book lights, they have that isolator tab, so I guess the battery would be isolated. But maybe just for these ones, for customer satisfaction, make sure that all the batteries are working perfectly, and swap the batteries out. But maybe I'll do a test on this and see how long the battery lasts. Seems reasonable, right? Because the batteries are isolated. They are, it takes 3 LR44 batteries, and they're alkaline, so the shelf life should be pretty good. Mercury free, battery best by 1/20/2022. It actually says it on there. That's pretty funny. Yeah, so probably the batteries are NG, but let's see what we got. All right, so I've got plenty of lights. That's good. Good news. They really should be used, if nothing else. That's 50 more clipboards essentially that I could make. And so I should buy some clipboards and just make them. And this is going to be the initial capital investment part of the company. And if it doesn't take off by April when the domain needs to be renewed, then I'll just not renew the domain name. Simple as that. But I think in this case, it's worth giving it a shot. Bring it back online. It was a proven concept back in 2020. And so, you know, let's give it out there, put it back out there in the world, and, you know, every good entrepreneur will say, what do you have to sell? Right? So people are always looking for stuff to buy, ironically enough. All right. And it actually, you know, it's worthwhile. Like, listen, if they were using these in hospital settings, or it was just because delivery was taking off, yeah, I think that's a good way to help out. All right, so let's go on to the next segment.